Good morning. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with another edition of your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Sunday, September 29th, 2019. A lot to talk about, so we'll dive right in. Storm system continues across the region, about 36 hours in now to this long-duration storm. You can see on the radar loop here lots of rain and snow showers ongoing early this morning across southeast Idaho, with perhaps another band or zone of heavier precipitation here in northern Utah that's just starting to inch north and east into southern and eastern portions of our forecast area. This precipitation you see here on the radar, rain or snow, depending on your elevation. So we look at morning low temperatures, cold enough for snow across many locations in the Central Mountains. But look at the rest of the forecast area now. We have a cold front moving in. We have cooler air filtering in across the region as we speak. Temperatures as you wake up this morning are generally going to be right near freezing, maybe just a couple degrees above, so very marginal. And that cooler air filtering in is going to help some of that snow start to drop down in elevation, possibly even to some valley floors. And sure enough, as we look at webcams across the region, we are seeing just that. Idaho Transportation Department, or ITD webcam at Blackfoot Reservoir, showing some snow mixing in early this morning. Here's the Gem Valley, US 30, just to the west of Soda Springs, with some snow mixing in. Also at Malad Summit along I-15, and then up north of Ashton as we get up into northeastern portions of the forecast area. Again, snow levels inching down and some more snow starting to mix in to our precipitation profile across the region. More of the same in the Central Mountains, but a lot of webcams very dark this morning as it is before sunrise as of this recording. Our watch warning advisory map, very colorful today. For our forecast area, 4 things you need to know. Number 1, purple shading up here. This is a winter weather advisory that remains in effect until 6 p.m. today for the Central Mountain region, and then up into portions of Clark and Fremont counties and along the Montana border. This is where we're expecting the greatest snowfall accumulations. Down here in the southeast, number 2, flood watch that was issued yesterday has been extended through 9 a.m. this morning. You saw that batch of heavier precipitation inching in from Utah, and we're going to continue to see some good precipitation amounts across this region, at least for a few more hours. A lot of that falling is rain, although more and more snow mixing in as we go on. The concern down here is not so much for flooding on the major creeks and rivers, but more so for isolated water flows across highways and maybe an isolated rock slide or mudslide down across this area shaded in green. So if you will be traveling, please be a little more cautious and alert and watching out for those items. Do not turn around, don't drown if you do encounter flooding. Number 3, dark purple here in the Snake Plain and Eastern Magic Valley. This is a freeze warning in effect for both Monday morning and Tuesday morning, and we'll dig into that in a minute. Much colder air coming in on the backside of this system. And finally, it's covered up here in the freeze warning, but a lake wind advisory is also in effect for today for American Falls Reservoir. Additional precipitation amounts today, lighter in the west, higher as you head off to the east. Generally a 1/10 to 1/4 inch down to the south and east of the interstate corridor, south and east of the Snake Plain. May see some amounts approaching a 1/2 inch of QPF up here in the upper Snake Highlands, portions of Clark and Fremont counties, really especially along the Montana border, and anywhere from a few hundredths to a 1/4 inch across the Central Mountains. Pretty light here in the Snake Plain. Again, a mix of rain and snow. So as we look at additional snow, this is on top of whatever has already fallen as of 5 or 6 a.m. this morning. Expecting generally 1 to 3 inches or so, 1 to 4 inches up across the Central Mountains, 2 to 5 inches possible here along the Montana border, particularly as you go higher in elevation. Again, this is the zone where that winter weather advisory is in effect, so watch out for some slushy or slick conditions on those higher elevation highways and mountain passes, maybe a little bit of activity down to valley floors as well. As we head down into the Snake Plain, Eastern Magic Valley, and all of these valleys down across southern and eastern portions of the forecast area, even into Bear Lake, really only expecting about a dusting to 1 inch of snow today. Warm ground temperatures, kind of marginal air temperatures right near freezing are really going to help things melt quite well if we do get snow mixing to valley floors, so we're not expecting a lot. Generally, not a lot of impacts either, but if you will be traveling or driving around, just watch out for a few slick spots, maybe a few slushy spots. You can see some slightly higher snow totals here as you go up in elevation. 1 to 4 inches of snow expected today above about 5,500 to 6,000 feet. So again, mountain passes will be the most favorable areas for seeing maybe a little bit of snow or slush on the roadways, so definitely slow down and watch out for that today. As that colder air comes in, Whipping up the Snake Plain here, as you see on our sustained wind graphic. Speeds increasing to about 15 to 25 miles an hour sustained today, centered over the Snake Plain. And when we throw in wind gusts, 30 to 35 miles an hour possible, again, particularly in the Snake River Plain. And this is the reason we have a lake wind advisory for American Falls Reservoir that's in effect from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. So if you are one of those brave souls that might be out doing some boating or recreating in the cold temperatures today, just be on alert for those winds, some rough chop, and some higher waves there on the reservoir. So as we've done each of the last few days, let's take a visual look here at what this all might look like. This is one of our computer models, just giving us a broad general idea of what to expect. 6 a.m. this morning, widespread showers, and as we head toward 9 a.m., noon, and 3 p.m., you can see the activity slowly diminishing a little bit and lifting up to the north, lifting off to the northeast as our low pressure system finally starts to move away from the area. Maybe a little bit of dry slotting while working into the Snake Plain here from the west as that cooler air comes in, and that will help those winds be fairly strong over the course of the day. 6 p.m., 9 p.m., midnight, drying out. Overnight tonight should be pretty dry for most locations. Model is generating a few showers here as we head towards 6 a.m. Monday, 9 a.m. Monday, and noon. A few light showers across the region, and again in the afternoon, especially across our mountain ranges. Light rain and snow showers, not expecting major accumulations or major amounts out of any of this. Should be fairly low impact. Any of our mountain ranges across the region that see this activity might pick up a dusting to maybe an inch of snow. And hopefully with a lot of that falling during the daytime hours when temperatures are a bit warmer, should really mitigate those impacts. So right now, not expecting this to be a big deal on Monday. Again, the main message, a chance of an isolated shower for everyone. Lowest in the Snake Plain, highest in the mountains. A mix of rain and snow depending on your exact location and elevation. All of that dries out by Monday night, and as we head into Tuesday, dry across the region. And we're expecting those dry conditions to continue right into Wednesday and Thursday as well. High temperatures today, even with the colder air filtering in, we might make it up into the low 40s here and lower elevations, particularly in the Snake Plain. Mountains, it's going to be a real mixed bag as far as that shower activity. Temperatures generally holding in the upper 30s to near 40. Here comes the cold air. So we have that freeze warning in effect for the Snake Plain and Eastern Magic Valley from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m., both Monday morning and Tuesday morning. As we look at Monday morning's low temperatures, teens in the Central Mountains, but generally about mid-20s to near freezing across the rest of the region. Most areas are probably going to see a hard freeze, an end of the growing season by Monday morning. The exception may be for some portions of the Snake Plain here, particularly near the big cities and along the interstate corridor. Definitely getting down to freezing, but as far as a hard freeze or temperatures down in the 20s, might be a little hit and miss there. If your growing season doesn't end Monday morning, have no fear. Tuesday morning, we are absolutely done. High temperatures on Monday, still struggling to get up into the 40s across the region. Here's those cold Tuesday morning temperatures. Okay, 20s for everyone across the region. The growing season will come to an end for every town and city in our area. I will throw out there, too, we don't issue frost and freeze products across our mountain ranges. We only reserve those for the Snake Plain and Eastern Magic Valley, but certainly the cold air and the freezing temperatures will affect everyone across the region. High temperatures on Tuesday, again, drying out and starting to inch up toward 50 degrees, a little bit of improvement there. Sunshine on Wednesday, high temperatures getting up into the upper 40s to mid-50s, a little more improvement, and we'll continue to see that trend into Thursday. Temperatures rebounding just a little bit. Disagreement in the models, maybe a little bit of precipitation with another system by Friday or Saturday. We'll be watching trends for that. That's it for your hazard briefing this morning. If you have any questions for us, reach out and have a great day.